I have been obsessed with the newest film, K-Pop Demon Hunters, since it came out, and I just need to ramble about it. So spoiler warning if you haven't already seen it, as I will be touching on major spoilers. Not only have the songs been living rent-free in my head, but these two, Rumi and Jinu, oh, they're so good.
Now where's the damn kiss?
Okay, but if you haven't already seen the film, which you need to, it follows a girl group known as Huntrix and their double lives as both K-pop stars and demon hunters. The trio consists of Rumi, the leader, Mira, the visual and lead dancer, and Zoe, the rapper and lyricist. Together through their music, they strengthen the Hunmoon, a barrier from demons to protect the world and their fans. Through the generations, a new trio of hunters is chosen to fulfill their duty and create the Golden Hunmoon, a barrier so strong that it keeps the demons and their king Guima trapped beneath their world forever. And while the girls are closer than ever before to sealing the barrier, a new boy band who goes by the name Saja Boys are demons in disguise, in order to win over Huntrix's fans and strengthen their king.
Is the winner! Goo goo gaga.
But little do people know that Rumi is part demon herself. Her mother, who was a previous K-pop star and hunter in the group Sunlight Sister, fell in love with a demon and passed away when Rumi was just a baby. So Celine, one of the members of the group, raised her and built Huntrix around her. It was never revealed who Rumi's father was, and part of me was preparing for this devastating father-daughter moment in the movie, but hey, that's what sequels are for, am I right? The director Maggie Kung shared that she'd been working on this project for over 9 years and that it was initially planned for the animation to be a lower budget movie and darker than the final product looked. I can see why the film took nearly a decade because the animation is so flawless and fluid that it deserved to be in theaters. Not only is every scene visually mesmerizing, but the music is on another level. I'd also like to preface that besides what my friends who are into K-pop tell me about their favorite idols, I know nothing about K-pop. I rarely listen to K-pop music, but this movie is about to change that for me because I loved each and every one of these songs. Also, I loved the voice actors. Like, tell me why when I heard Mira's voice, I was shocked. I find that at least in a lot of the shows I watch, it is so rare nowadays for girls to have deeper voices, and instead usually get the higher, pitchier voices, which no hate to the characters or actors. I'm just happy to hear and see a contrast in all of the girls. So I know everyone and their mother is obsessed with Jinu, and I mean, how could you not be? But you want to know who my favorite character was? The tiger. Thank goodness that bird and tiger had a happy ending, unlike Jinu, or else I would have cried. When the director Maggie was asked if she would bring Jinu back, she just disappears from the screen, and honestly, as much as I would love to see him make a return, if they were to create a sequel or follow-up series, I don't know how he would ever be able to physically return, since at the end of the movie, he gives his soul to Rumi, which gives me the chills every time I rewatch that scene. This also brings up the question though, what happened to all of the missing people and their souls? Are they just trapped in the demon world forever? And what about the Hunmoon? In the end, they never managed to create the Golden Hunmoon, but rather re-solidify the previously existing one. By the end of the film, we also learned that Huntrix is having a comeback, which would be the perfect opportunity to explore all of the things mentioned and more. I loved how both Rumi and Jinu were so similar, not just because they were both demons, but the decision to focus on their voices. Because of Rumi's secret, not only would she constantly be seen in hoodies and layers in order to cover up her marks, but it got to a point where it was spreading to her throat and affecting her performance. It grows so much that by the end of the film, Rumi has no choice but to finally acknowledge who she is, after being exposed to the crowd by demon disguises of Mira and Zoe. And can we just appreciate how beautiful Rumi looks in her most raw and authentic state? I'll admit I wasn't the biggest fan of her hairstyle, but by the end of this film, I was just in awe with her entire design. Meanwhile with Jinu, Guima reminds him how lucky he was that he got to keep his voice. And it's because of his voice that he's capable of helping Guima in return for his memories of his previous life to be erased. Jinu experienced poverty all throughout his life until one day he heard Guima's voice in his head, an offer to help him. And just like that, Jinu could finally see his mother and sister be happy. little did he know he traded his soul for this and wouldn't have the chance to enjoy it for long, which I found to be an interesting way to showcase the sacrifices made by many who enter the music industry, and especially one as demanding as the K-pop world. Jinu and Rumi's voice were both a reminder of their potential, their talent, and yet their biggest fears and shame. Their demon side, the other half to them that makes them whole. While it was hard to see Mira and Zoe's reaction to Rumi's biggest secret, it was only through all of their own hardships that they were brought together to begin with, and learned what it meant to be truly loved for each and every individual part of them. The entire soundtrack is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of my life. Everything about K-Pop Demon Hunters was phenomenal, and all I can hope is that we get to see more of them. But if you've already gotten to see the film, which it's on Netflix, I'd love to know what your thoughts were down below, who your favorite character was and song, and remember, be yourself, be unique, and I'll see you guys in the next one.